Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
Cryptoslo with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? Big update on OnChainScores, the never-ending game. Like, when's it gonna launch? Well, soon, by the looks of things. So I've been following this project. I think it has a very unique approach, and that is to make a fair launch by using Twitter mining, which really hasn't been done. Normally you drop your ETH address once or whatever, but this thing has had all kinds of hoops to jump through in order to get those points, okay? So, getting things up to speed. OnChainScores is a Tetris-like game that is launching on Ethereum that uses NFTs. You take these NFTs and you stack them and you try to fill all the blocks. So if you get all the blocks, you're getting a score. And then, that may be valuable some way. I don't know. Now, the question everyone's asking is, can I make money on this? Well, I think the answer to that is yes, because here's what's going to happen. You're going to take your points. You're going to burn your points. It's going to give you an initial set of blocks, okay? Now, these blocks are going to be traded because some blocks may be rarer than others that people need in order to complete and get an entirely filled block, okay? So depending on how close you are, people will be trading these NFTs. So they basically have gamified NFTs, okay, number one. Number two, I think these blocks are going to be dynamic in the sense that I could combine these blocks and then maybe I can't do anything else and I could sell that NFT. So I assume there'll be a lot of trading. Now, getting you up to speed on what's going on. As you know, they've had a secondary mining event where people were getting a speed boost points. So what these speed boost points were basically is access to be able to mint at a higher ratio than other people. So, very important point. You're burning your points to get your blocks, your initial set of blocks, okay? There's going to be 3 burning windows. These burning windows were basically predicated on how many speed boost points you've mined. So to find out how many speed boost points you mined, you can go over to the site, and I'll leave a link down below, and you go to the checker, you put in your addy, and then it will tell you how many points you have, okay? And then there's a speed boost leaderboard. So you can go down this leaderboard and you can find your address to see what rank you are. Okay, rank on the left, address in the middle, total speed boost points. Now, back to the minting period. This is going to occur, the first minting period, depending on how many speed boost points. So when it says the first is reserved for the first 10 addresses, okay, so that means when you go over to the leaderboard, that means these, as of now, these top 10 addresses will get the first chance to mint at 5 p.m. UTC. Now, these guys are very technical, it seems. UTC, you can go over to the UTC time converter or just Google UTC. So I'm in the Eastern time zone, so 5 would be 12 p.m. tomorrow. That's the first minting period. Then addresses 11 through 100 open up, okay? And that is at 6 p.m. So that would be 1 o'clock Eastern. And then the third window opens at 7. So basically the third window has the lowest multiplier, okay? You can see 1 versus 3. And this will be open for everyone that didn't qualify to get those. So the current mining that's going on for speed boost points simply give you access to this minting window. Okay, I only have like a couple hundred, so my rank's not super high. So I'll probably be minting at the 2 o'clock Eastern time UTC. So let's go back over there. Crank this up to 7. Yeah, it's 2 p.m. So I'll leave links down below. Which brings us to this. Points. Okay. There's only 1,800 points listed right now. Okay. So these could get expensive between now and the minting period. So, that's a chance for someone to profit, and it's also a chance for someone to get more blocks. So going back to here, you can see if I burn 3,200 points in the first minting block, I'll get 189 blocks. So that would mean that I would get basically 189 of these NFT blocks, okay? Which is pretty awesome. So those are your blocks. Now, I told you I've been stacking points. I was stacking points on the dip. So I have quite a few points. So I should have a solid bag to start playing this game. But before you go pushing buttons and doing crazy stuff, so make sure that you understand the game. Okay, there's been some play tests. So I asked number 1, how are you ensuring this is random? So if you've ever played dice games and all those other crash games on the blockchain, one of the most holy grail things is fairness. How are they making this fair? So that when you mint these blocks, you get a whole block. How do you know that it's totally random? It's not game somehow. So I think the contract will be published so it can be reviewed. But the dev said that there was an innovation in this. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're generating random, number 1. Number 2, this is based on the premise, let's see, the premise of gamification, social engagement, and then also a very important point, you don't have to exit the protocol. So here's what's unique is when you buy an NFT, normally it's stagnant, okay? But with this, the NFTs are changing and converting to what we would think would be something of more value. So that's very cool. I haven't seen a lot of NFT projects that allow you to combine the NFTs or whatever. A lot of times it's a burn for, you burn it and then you get a more rare one or something. But the cool part about this is that protocolly you are able to change the characteristics of the NFTs that you have in your wallet. And we're going to see how the tokenomics of this play out. The blocks, so let's go back a little bit. So you can see, basically your goal would be, think of this, is to count vertically that you have five entries, 5 blocks, and then they all fall, and then you fill the block up as much as possible, okay? You can see as it's falling. They always, once the top level comes down, it always knocks that block down. But again, the challenging part of this is you can't have extra blocks at the top, and the number of blocks changes, as you can see. So actually that was an incorrect statement to say that you need 5, because you need 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, okay? So you want to, when you're stacking these blocks in combination, you're going to want to be pretty planned in how you do this. So I played the play test a little bit, and it was interesting. But on the play test, you only had 8 blocks. So that made it much more challenging. So don't miss out, okay, number 1, the alpha from this video. Number 1, points may moon between now and tomorrow, okay? So this still looks affordable at the 0.002. That's not that bad. Let me do a refresh just to make sure. Pretty sure it's real time, so yeah. So you could scoop up points, and I still think that's pretty cheap. And then you want to couple that to this graph, so that how many ever points you have, then because you're going to be encouraged, because unless you want to buy blocks on secondary, you need those points, okay? Otherwise, you're going to be paying to get those blocks. So yeah, that's that. So we'll see how OnChainScores measures out. On other news, I was going to do a video on this, but with the BRCs, the prices have dipped a little bit. But this, in my opinion, and I mentioned this in another video, is still my golden child. I'm trying to mint these puppies and get in these, and it's actually accelerated a bit. We jumped up almost 1% pretty quickly, okay? So I think Sats, assuming Bitcoin doesn't block BRCs, but I know BRCs are a lot of hype at Bitcoin Miami. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But, you know, definitely not financial advice. I think it's good to have a bag of these Sats long term, you know, just for possible speculation, because it's really not that expensive to get a decent bag. And like I said, every time you mine one, you're getting a Bitcoin worth of sats. Oh, and then on a side thing, we have the BRC-11. So I guess the minting on this just started. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, I made this. I'm not trying to shill it to you. I made it for fun as an ode to Mr. Jack 11 because I think he encompasses the true meaning of crypto. So, and I was surprised that no one had taken it, but 11 is here to stay on the Bitcoin blockchain forever. So if you want to get some 11s, get you some 11s. There's 1 million supply. It's limited. Get them while they're hot. But I'll leave links down below for everything. So with that being said, what else? Bitcoin, not doing the greatest. Kind of just in this crappy sideways trend. I wish, you know, it cracks me up. I really wish that we could have a Bitcoin conference while the price is going up instead of going down. But, you know, got to think long term. So, hope you liked today's video. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my Twitter at BitcoinSlo. And you get all the hot news, some fun stuff, and some food in there too. Yeah, there's BT hanging out with Mr. Levin. And also, oh, and then we have the on Mr. Levin, we have the Zen Doge launch coming up, so don't forget to have a bag for that. Zen really price hasn't really started to move yet, but we'll see how the FOMO is on, you know, once that gets going. So check me out at BitcoinSlo if you're not already on my Twitter. So with that being said, I hope you liked tonight's video. I know it was a little long. Like and subscribe. This is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.
Now.